The Capture Earth story begins with Jack, a 28-year-old construction worker from Earth, working late on a bridge repair project outside the city. Strange lights appear in the sky, and before he can react, a powerful beam pulls him up into a massive alien ship. Jack wakes up in a sterile white cell with other humans, men, and women from different countries. They are all confused and scared. Through broken communication with other prisoners, Jack learns they have all been taken recently. Some have been here for weeks. An alien appears, tall, blue-skinned with four arms and large black eyes. The creature speaks through a translation device. It explains that their race, the Valix, is dying. Their females can no longer reproduce. They have studied many species across the galaxy and found that humans have the strongest genetic material for breeding. The alien, who calls himself Commander Vex, tells them they will be used to create hybrid offspring with selected Valix females. The humans will be kept comfortable but cannot leave. Jack feels angry and helpless but realizes fighting now would be useless. Jack is taken to a medical bay where they run tests on him. The equipment is advanced beyond anything on Earth. A female, Valix scientist named Kira conducts his examination. Unlike the others, she seems curious about Jack as a person, asking questions about Earth and human culture through the translator. During the exam, Jack notices Kira watching him differently than the others. When he tries to speak to her about home and family, she listens carefully. She tells him that she studied Earth transmissions for years and finds human emotions fascinating. Most Valix have lost the ability to feel strong emotions. That night in his cell, Jack thinks about escape, but realizes the ship is probably far from Earth. He decides to learn more about his captors and find their weaknesses. He also cannot stop thinking about the curious look in Kira's eyes. The next day, Commander Vex announces that breeding will begin soon. Jack and the other humans are horrified, but Jack notices that Kira looks uncomfortable with the announcement. She avoids eye contact and leaves quickly. Jack begins to form a plan. If he can somehow connect with Kira and understand her better, maybe he can find a way to help all the humans escape. He also wonders if the Valix truly understand what they are asking of humans, or if they see them only as breeding stock. Unexpected connection. Jack is assigned to work in the ship's garden section, helping to maintain food production. This gives him more freedom to move around and observe the Valix. He notices their society is very structured and emotionless. They work efficiently, but seem to have no joy or passion. Kira often visits the garden for her research. Jack makes opportunities to talk with her. Through their conversations, he learns that the Valix were once emotional beings like humans. But centuries ago, they modified themselves to remove harmful emotions like anger, jealousy, and sadness. However, this also removed love, passion, and the desire to reproduce. Jack tells Kira about Earth, about music, art, love, and family bonds. She is fascinated by these concepts. He describes how humans feel when they fall in love, how they choose their partners, and how they care for their children. Kira admits she has never experienced such feelings. One day, Kira tells Jack that she volunteered to be one of the females for the breeding program, but after talking with him, she feels confused and uncertain. Jack realizes she is beginning to develop emotions that her people have suppressed for generations. Jack shares stories about his sister and parents back on Earth. He talks about how his sister just had a baby and how happy the whole family was. He explains that human reproduction is not just about creating offspring, but about love, partnership, and building a life together. Kira begins to show signs of emotional awakening. She laughs at Jack's jokes, shows concern when he mentions missing his family, and becomes excited when learning about human customs. The other Valix notice her strange behavior, but do not understand what is happening to her. Commander Vex announces that the first breeding sessions will begin in 3 days. Jack feels desperate, but notices that Kira has become protective of him. She starts making excuses to keep him busy with garden work, delaying his assignment to the breeding program. During one of their talks, Kira touches Jack's hand, something that surprises both of them. She explains that Valaks rarely have physical contact except for necessary tasks. Jack shows her how humans hold hands, hug, and show affection through touch. That night, Kira makes an unauthorized visit to Jack's cell. She tells him that she is experiencing strange new feelings that she cannot understand. Jack realizes that she is falling in love, perhaps the first Valaks to feel this emotion in centuries. Kira reveals important information. The ship has escape pods, and she knows the codes to access them. But she also tells Jack something troubling. If the breeding program fails, Commander Vex plans to destroy Earth to prevent humans from warning other species about Valak's activities. Jack realizes that escape is not enough. They need to stop the Valaks from harming Earth and find a way to help both species. He begins to form a bigger plan, knowing that Kira's awakening emotions might be the key to saving both humans and Valaks. Forbidden love. Kira's emotional transformation accelerates as she spends more time with Jack. She begins to understand concepts like sacrifice, loyalty, and love. Her behavior becomes so unusual that other Valak scientists start to study her, thinking she has contracted some kind of human disease. Jack teaches Kira more about human emotions and relationships. He explains how love makes humans want to protect each other and make sacrifices for those they care about. Kira admits that she feels something similar toward Jack, a desire to keep him safe, even if it costs her everything. Commander Vex becomes suspicious of Kira's behavior and assigns another scientist to oversee the breeding program, but Kira uses her access codes to continue helping Jack. She shows him the ship's layout and explains how their technology works. During one of their secret meetings, Kira tells Jack that she has been studying the other human prisoners. She notices that the humans care for each other, share food, and try to protect the weaker ones. This is completely foreign to Valak society, where individuals only care about the collective good. Jack realizes that the Valaks do not truly understand what they are destroying. They see humans as just genetic material, not understanding that human strength comes from emotional bonds and the willingness to fight for each other. Kira makes a shocking decision. She claims Jack as her personal research subject, which means no other Valaks can use him for breeding. This is unprecedented in their society and causes confusion among the leadership. Commander Vex is angry, but cannot override Kira's claim without causing problems in their rigid hierarchy. Jack and Kira's relationship deepens. She begins to experience jealousy when other Valaks interact with Jack, and protective anger when she sees how the humans are treated. These emotions make her more human-like, but also put her in danger from her own people. The other human prisoners notice that Jack has special protection and ask him to help them escape. Jack shares what he has learned about the ship and begins organizing a resistance among the humans. However, he knows they cannot simply escape. They need to stop the threat to Earth. Kira overhears Commander Vex planning to begin forced breeding with the other humans. Since Jack is protected, she realizes that her feelings for Jack have made her care about all humans, not just him. She decides to take a huge risk. Kira accesses the ship's communication system and contacts other Valaks colonies. She tells them about her emotional awakening and suggests that maybe the solution to their reproduction problem is not taking genetic material by force, but learning to feel emotions again. Her message causes chaos in Valak society. Some Valaks are intrigued by the possibility of regaining emotions, while others see it as a dangerous disease that must be stopped. Commander Vex orders Kira to be detained and studied. Before she is captured, Kira gives Jack access codes to critical ship systems. She tells him that she loves him, the first time she has used that word. She also reveals that there are other ships heading to Earth with larger invasion forces. Jack realizes that their situation has become much bigger than just Escaping. He must find a way to save Kira, protect the other humans, and stop an invasion of Earth. He also begins to understand that Kira's emotional awakening might be the key to changing Valak's society forever. As Valak's guards come to arrest Kira, she tells Jack that even if she dies, experiencing love was worth it. This gives Jack the determination he needs to fight back and save both their species. Asterisk. The Awakening 770 words. Jack uses Kira's access codes to secretly contact the other human prisoners and share his escape plan. Among them is Dr. Lisa, a psychologist who helps Jack understand what is happening to Kira and how they might use it to help other Valaks. Meanwhile, Kira is imprisoned and studied by Valak scientists who are trying to understand her emotional transformation. They treat her like a diseased specimen, which only makes her emotions stronger. She experiences anger, sadness, and determination, feelings that give her new strength. Jack discovers that Kira's emotional awakening is not unique. Several other Valaks who had extended contact with humans are beginning to show similar changes. The ship's medical bay is quietly treating Valaks who report strange new feelings they cannot understand. Dr. Lisa explains to Jack that the Valaks suppressed their emotions through genetic modification, but the changes were not permanent. Contact with emotionally strong humans is triggering a reversal of their modifications. This means the Valaks' cure for their reproduction problem was not taking human genetic material. It was learning to feel again. Jack realizes this information could change everything. If the Valaks could understand that emotions are necessary for reproduction and strong societies, they might stop their invasion plans. But first, he needs to prove it works. Using Kira's codes, Jack accesses the ship's research database and finds records of other alien species the Valaks have encountered. He discovers that every species they have wiped out for being too emotional actually had strong, successful civilizations before the Valaks destroyed them. Commander Vex announces that the breeding program will begin immediately, starting with the other humans since Jack is still protected by Kira's claim. But when the guards try to take the first human woman, something unexpected happens. A young Valaks guard refuses to participate. The guard, named Nex, has been watching the humans and is beginning to feel empathy. He cannot force the terrified woman into the breeding chamber. Other Valaks are confused by his behavior, but Jack recognizes the signs of emotional awakening. Jack makes a bold decision. He breaks into the communication system and broadcasts a message throughout the ship. He explains what is really happening, that the Valaks do not need to steal genetic material. They need to feel emotions again. He uses Kira as proof that Valaks can change. The broadcast causes chaos on the ship. Some Valaks are curious, others are frightened, and Commander Vex is furious. But the message reaches the imprisoned Kira, who realizes that Jack is trying to save both species. During the confusion, Dr. Lisa and several other humans escape their cells using the codes Jack provided. They begin helping Valaks who are experiencing emotional awakening, teaching them how to understand and manage their new feelings. Kira breaks out of her prison using strength and determination she never knew she had. Her emotions have made her more capable, not weaker as Valak society believes. She fights her way to the command center to help Jack. Commander Vex orders his loyal guards to stop the emotional infection by any means necessary. But many guards are now conflicted, experiencing doubt and empathy for the first time in their lives. The ship becomes divided between those embracing emotions and those fighting them. Jack and Kira reunite in the communication center. Together, they send a message to the approaching Valak's invasion fleet and to Earth. They explain the truth about Valak's reproduction problems and offer a solution. That does not require invasion or forced breeding. However, Commander Vex activates the ship's self-destruct system rather than allow the emotional awakening to spread. He believes it is better to die than to become infected with emotions. Jack and Kira have only minutes to convince the crew to choose feelings over destruction. The turning point comes when Nex, the young guard, convinces other Valaks that emotions make them stronger, not weaker. He points out that the humans fight harder, love deeper, and create more beautiful things because of their emotions. As the countdown continues, more Valaks choose to embrace their awakening feelings. They realize that centuries of emotionless existence have made them weak and desperate, while emotional species like humans continue to grow and thrive. New beginnings with only minutes left before self-destructs, Kira leads the emotionally awakened Valaks in a revolt against Commander Vex's remaining loyal followers. The battle is not just physical, but ideological. Those who choose to feel versus those who fear emotions. Jack helps coordinate the resistance by teaching the awakened Valaks how to work together, like humans do, through trust, cooperation, and sacrifice for others. This teamwork is something the rigid Valak society never developed. Dr. Lisa makes a crucial discovery in the ship's medical bay. She finds that the Valak's genetic modifications can be completely reversed with the right treatment. The emotional awakening is not just psychological. It can become permanent and biological, allowing the Valaks to reproduce naturally again. Nex and several other young Valaks manage to disable the self-destruct system. Commander Vex, realizing he has lost control, tries to manually detonate the ship. But Kira stops him, using her new emotional strength and determination to protect everyone aboard. In a moment of understanding, Jack offers Commander Vex a choice: experience emotions and understand what the Valaks have been missing or remain trapped in the cold logic that is destroying his species. Surprisingly, the commander accepts, curious despite his fear. When Commander Vex experiences his first emotions in centuries, wonder, regret, and hope, he finally understands what his people have lost. He realizes that the Valaks became so afraid of the pain that comes with emotions, that they also eliminated the joy, love, and passion that make life worth living. The ship's communication system receives responses from both the Valaks fleet and Earth. The invasion fleet has stopped after receiving Jack and Kira's message. Many ships report their own crews experiencing emotional awakenings. Earth's governments are offering to help rather than fight, understanding that both species can benefit from cooperation. Jack contacts his family on Earth, telling them he is safe and part of something that will change both human and Valak civilizations forever. His sister's new baby becomes a symbol of hope, representing the natural reproduction and family bonds that the Valaks can learn to have again. Dr. Lisa begins working with awakened Valak scientists to develop the genetic reversal treatment. They discover that emotions do not just make reproduction possible. They make the Valaks stronger, more creative, and more capable of solving problems that pure logic could not handle. Kira and Jack's relationship becomes the model for Valak's human cooperation. Their love story spreads throughout both species as proof that emotions make individuals and societies stronger, not weaker. Other Valaks begin forming emotional bonds with humans and with each other. The ship becomes a research station where humans teach Valaks about emotions, relationships, and family structures, while Valaks share their advanced technology and scientific knowledge. Both species learn they are stronger together than apart. Commander Vex, now experiencing the full range of emotions, apologizes to the human prisoners and offers to take them home. But many choose to stay and help with the transition, realizing they are part of something historically important. Jack makes his own choice. He decides to stay with Kira and help establish the first mixed Valak's human colony. Their love has grown beyond personal feelings into a partnership that bridges to species and represents hope for both. The story ends with the establishment of New Haven, a colony where Valaks and humans live together, share knowledge, and build families. Kira gives birth to the first natural Valak's child in centuries, made possible not by stolen genetic material, but by the return of emotions and natural love. Jack receives a message from Earth that his sister has named her baby Hope. After hearing his story, he realizes that what started as a capture for forced breeding has become the salvation of two species and the beginning of a new era of cooperation in the galaxy. The final scene shows Jack and Kira watching their own child play with human and Valak's children Toj. The Valaks have learned that strength comes not from suppressing emotions, but from embracing them. Humanity has gained new allies and friends among the stars. The last lines reflect the HFY theme. Humans did not defeat the Valaks through superior weapons or technology, but through the power of emotions, love, and the determination to protect each other. In the end, humanity's greatest strength, their ability to feel deeply and love fiercely, saved both species and created a better future for all. The end asterisk.